This is what the dogs are looking like now after getting into a fight. He got blood in his ear. He got blood in his ear. They're wet because I had to throw water on them to break them apart. But as you can see, he's bleeding from his ear. Move, move, Thor, get out, over there, get out. And he's bleeding from his neck. He's bleeding from his neck. Stop it now. So you guys can see I was throwing water. They were fighting all over here. But this is what it's like to have two male dogs. You can see he's cut. This is what it's like to have two male dogs. Every time a male dog has another male dog around him, you can see his nose. He's bleeding from his nose. They're exhausted, they're tired. He's bleeding from his ear. He's exhausted. He's wet and exhausted. So the thing is with these dogs are both males. They're brothers. They're from the same parents, but they're both male dogs, and a male dog always wants to be the alpha dog. So they always want to stand their ground. So they want to be the ones, and that goes with any dogs in general. When you take them to the park and they meet a dog that they don't know, and if they realize they're both males, then they want to show dominance. They want to be the dominant dog. So right now they seem to be calm, but so let me tell you something about these dogs. Right now they seem to be fine, and Thor seems to be caring for Asher. He was licking him. You know, they're good now. Asher's exhausted. I hate when they get into it, but since I show you guys everything always, and I let you guys know everything about the dogs, I wanted to let you guys know what happens when owning two male dogs. I mean, for the most part, like 99% of the time, they get along very well. The only times they get angry with each other or want to get into an altercation is when people walk behind the fence. So people walk over besides the fence. You guys know we have a park on that side. We have woods back there, but we also have a little trail we have a trail back there that leads into the other neighborhood. And then we have I mean, I guess that's just the side of the fence which leads to the front over there. So sometimes that'll be people that'll come to the park from the other neighborhood, and they'll walk through either back here or on that side. And these dogs, whenever they sense a stranger or just anybody, you guys see they're getting along now. He's being caring for his brother now. But if you guys saw, I didn't have time to record at the moment. I didn't want to record. I was just trying to break them apart. But they fight as if they didn't know each other. Like literally they'll get into it as if they were just two completely stranger dogs, don't know each other. Like that's how bad the altercations get with them. And I mean, the only thing that I wanted to do was just break them apart. Every time they get into it, I just, you know, run and break them apart. So you guys can see I threw water at them, broke them apart, got them wet. But they were fighting for at least, I would say maybe a good 2 minutes. But see, now they seem to be caring for each other, licking each other's wounds. getting along. Like I said, this doesn't happen all the time. Whenever people walk behind the fence, they go and start chasing them and just barking. The people in the back, you know, they'll just walk by. They won't do anything. They'll just walk by, and or maybe even other dogs. Sometimes people will walk back there with their dogs to go to their neighborhood, or they'll walk to the park, or they'll just walk on the side. They'll walk with their dogs and they'll sense it, and they'll just go and bark at the fence, at whatever's on the other side. And because they can't get to it, they get so angry and they just start taking it out on each other, and that's how the fights start. Another reason that they'll start doing this, when I give them food and they're unsupervised. So let's say I give them both the same portion of food, and let's say he finishes his first and then he's still eating. If he goes around his area, around his food, that's when he will start getting protective and will start growling at him. And if he continues to come towards his food, and then that's when they'll start fighting. But I never feed them unsupervised. Every time they eat, I'm always there, and I'm in between both of them, so until they both finish their food, and then that's when I'll go inside. Because if one of them is eating, let's say I came out and just gave him food and not him, he's gonna go to his place, to his bowl, and then he'll start getting protective over his food. He'll start growling, and then that's when another altercation will happen. For the most part, those are the only reasons when they will get into an altercation. But yeah, as you guys can see, they are caring now. They're licking each other, but you can see, you know, they really got hurt. Ashley got hurt. It was a bad fight. This one was a bad fight. Now, not every time that they go bark around the fence, they get into an altercation. Not every time. A lot of the times they will just bark, and then the people will pass by, and then they'll just go back to their own thing. But I guess it's just to the point whenever they're really angry, and then just want to take it out somehow. So I noticed they were out there. The dogs came and just started barking at them. They were playing out there for a while, and then it was time for them to go back home. And then they were going to go back this way. The dogs started barking. I guess they got scared, so they went around the house. They went around, and then they came through that fence to go back to their neighborhood back that way. So as they were passing by, that's when these dogs were over there barking at them. They were both barking, following them. And then it just got to the point where they just got so angry that they just, you know, one bumped into the other, and then the other just reacted, and then the other one just reacted back to it, and they just ended up fighting each other. But yeah, I mean, since I show you guys everything, I wanted to let you guys know what it's like to have two male dogs. It's not always pink and flowers and hippy deepy. You know, sometimes you have moments like this where they'll fight each other, even though they're brothers and they know each other. You see, they're loving each other now. Look. They notice somebody. Those are the kids. You see, they noticed somebody over there, and they came running over here. But since they're so far away, they're not literally right by the fence. They're not barking or anything. But you see how aware they are. They're just, you know, there's their instinct to being guard dogs. See, for the most part, they don't get into any altercation or anything like that. That's what it's like to have two male dogs. Male dogs always tend to want to show and be the alpha dog, so stuff like this will happen. But yeah, pretty much it for the video.